The next musician you're about to meet is a singer, a composer, and now even an actress. Sacha Gabriel sings in the Ottawa band My Tiny Circus, which they've called their jazzy, bossa nova sounds loungecore. Sacha's also mom to Tate and Shay, who helped her design her newest musical project, which is composing music for the new kids' ebook called Flora's Forest.
Here's that snow glow from Berlin. Charlottenburg is looking lovely, dusted in unlikely frosting. I know it should go.
Joining me in studio now is Sacha Gabriel, along with Tate and Shay. Hey, you guys.
Hi.
Hi. Hey, Meg.
Hey, how are you guys today?
Good. Yeah, we're good.
We're great.
Very good.
We're Team Awesome.
Sacha, you've got so many different things on your plate right now. We'll get to all of them, but I wanted to talk about the one that I think would be my dream job, even though I've never even tried it. That's designing iPad apps for kids. I was wondering if you could tell me about this project.
Sure. Essentially, I was kind of headhunted by a creative collective based in Toronto and LA and Ottawa. And they had saw some stuff that I had done for this director, Martin DeThura, who just finished doing Leslie Feist's video, The Bad in Each Other. So I do music for some of his short films. And they said, hey, have you ever tried, working on games or iPad stories? And I was like, no, but hey, sounds like a dream job, as you said. So they essentially showed me all the illustrations, which were amazing. The story was perfect. I said, I'm all about this. They gave me carte blanche. So I approached it like it was a movie. I came up with theme music for all the characters, and I did all the navigation sounds, and I narrated it.
How did you come up with the music for each of these characters? I'm assuming they were presented to you, so then you had to think of how they'd sound.
So I got some PDFs, I printed them out, and I had these monsters all over my apartment. And I would just sort of think about what they looked like and how they would sound. So there's 3 monsters that this little girl Flora meets in a forest after losing her kite. One's red, the other one's yellow, and the other one's blue. But they're really interesting looking. So red is this big furry bear. He almost looks like a cat bear hybrid. And I thought, you know what? This guy's a bowed bass. So I had like a bass player come in and do this really gregarious sounding theme music. Flora is a flute sound. The yellow monster sounds like a very sort of like phantasmatic oriental kind of sound to it. And the blue monster, who kind of expands and shrinks. And when he expands, he floats into the sky. He's filled with air, so I used a bike pump for the soundtrack for his theme. So it's all, it's really otherworldly, like all the themes. But I just sat there looking at their photos, at their images, and just was inspired and came up with their theme music by just looking at them.
And part of the app is when you're navigating through the forest, you can actually touch different elements, and that'll bring out music as well, right? Or sounds?
Well, right. Essentially, it's all about storytelling, but they really want to reinforce the learning aspect by sort of reinforcing the interaction that happens. So this book really comes to life. I mean, as kids walk through the forest, essentially, they can touch different trees, birds, animals, and it all responds. It rains in this story, and the kids can touch each individual raindrop, and it's arpeggiated synth sounds, and they can create their own music through touching the raindrops. So, yeah, with the light animation as well, it's a super interactive book for kids.
And so while working on the project, did Shay or Tate help out with anything? What was it like for you guys?
I've seen the monsters for it, but not like the place.
What do you think of the monsters so far?
They look good. I really like the blue monster the most, though.
Why?
Because he floats up with air.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
My mom said I could beta test the game. Probably this summer or...
in a month. So yeah, almost this summer. Yeah. You'll be able to play with it. But Tate actually helped me come up with the main theme for Flora's Forest.
Oh,
and
really?
she doesn't really realize it, but she was actually singing a song, and it kind of goes like, 1, 2, 3. Okay. And she had this little song that she would sing, and I said, Tate, that is a really awesome melody. I'm going to try to adapt that on piano. And it ended up being the main theme for the iPad app. So she's shy about it, but it was a way for her to remember to count to 4.
So aside from the apps, that's really almost just a side job for you because you've got another project, My Tiny Circus.
Yes.
And what I love about the band, I mean, first of all, was the description, which was the idiot savants of the Ottawa loungecore scene. Loungecore in this case meaning a mix of bossa nova and lounge sounds, I guess would be the best way to put it. How did this project start?
It started as a group called My Tiny Sofa, and that was pre-Sacha Gabriel. They were auditioning vocalists back in 2004 or 5, and I auditioned and I got the part because it took a certain type of person who could be able to pull off the humor that's rampant in it, but also be able to take it seriously at the same time, and who doesn't have any issues with singing about, sex or Satan or drugs.
All in the same song or different songs?
It can be all in the same song, believe it or not. So yeah, it evolved though. It started off with that sort of Gershwin-y kind of bossa nova sound, very loungecore, like you said. But we've moved away from that into more of a theatrical kind of musical sound, which we like to call like a film noir. The collaborations, after we got to know each other, we started co-writing, and there's some funny songs about, the glebe, and, funny songs about my terrible dating life. So it's really evolved over the last 6 years, and this is going to be, I think, our 3rd year playing Jazz Fest, and we've officially graduated from playing in the malls, and we'll actually be playing on a stage.
That's fantastic. Congrats.
Yeah. I know we were destined to be like the mall band for a while there. We're like, oh no. But we're really excited to be playing at the OLGT stage this year.
Now, what's it like to be at a venue like Jazz Fest, where, let's be fair, there's going to be some really serious jazz fans.
Yeah.
And you guys do have, the humor in terms of the lyrics, and you guys have fun with it.
Yeah.
What's the reaction normally from the crowd?
You know what? It's interesting. We really benefit from a captive audience most of the time because, as in you're captured. No, but because the lyrics are really funny. So it's not just about kind of losing yourself in the music all the time. You kind of got to pay attention. It's smart stuff. The reaction is always positive. We're not hardcore jazz, but this year Jazz Fest lineup is a bit different anyway. So it's kind of allowing us to sort of show our other colors as well. In the past, we've stuck to really traditional sounding jazz pieces, but this year we're just saying, hey man, I mean, if Adam and the Amethysts are going to be featured at Jazz Fest this year, we're going to show a little bit more of our pop sentiments and our musical sort of theatrical influences as well.
You mentioned how the group's going a little bit more on the theatrical sense.
Yep.
It's literally going in the theatrical sense right now.
It is.
You have members that are currently writing for a movie.
Yeah, so this is wild. So, checking things off on the bucket list, I wanted to audition for a movie this year, and I ended up landing the lead in My Fair Zombie, which is a Brett Kelly Entertainment production.
And just to clarify, My Fair Zombie is a zombie interpretation of My Fair Lady.
You got it.
Okay.
So it's essentially the same thing. It's My Fair Lady. It's got this twist. Instead of, a professor of phonetics picking up a gutter snipe and teaching her, to sort of the proper elocution and passing her off as a divine, duchess at some ball, it's a zombie. And the awesome humor in this is that the audience watching this movie will see clearly that this woman is a zombie, but everyone in the movie is convinced that she's just this mysteriously sort of strange-looking woman.
Who wants brains.
Yeah, who wants brains occasionally, and who is speaking just perfectly with her phonetics. So it's really fun, and I was convinced that Steve Tippett would make a really good, he's my partner in My Tiny Circus, would make a really good Professor Higgins. So I asked him to come audition, and well, he just can't act, but he can write. So he is writing all the songs for the lead characters in this film.
Wow. Now, and you have a song yourself.
Yes.
You have a lead song. Well, you're the lead character, but you have one particular song.
I have
that's
one
the lead
particular
song.
song. To Be Loved. Yeah, Eliza has this moment after she decides she's going to leave Mr. Higgins, just like in My Fair Lady. And instead of I could have danced all night, it's I'm just a zombie who wants to be loved.
I can love anyone that I choose. I can always amuse myself playing the field till I find the one who will understand just what I want. I want to be loved. I can go anywhere.
All zombies do just want to be loved. They're like everyone else.
We're just like everybody else.
Now, how do you balance all of these projects and Shay and Tate?
Yeah, as they run around in the hallway screaming right now. You know what? The way I've decided to approach this is including them in the process as much as possible. So they're with me at band rehearsals. They've even been on stage at Jazz Fest. You know, I've carried Tate on my hip when I'm singing a song, and it's going over. When it comes to my creative, things with the iPad apps, for instance, I love having their input. I mean, I'm also a full-time student right now, and it's hard because I'm a single mom. But basically, the legacy that I want to leave behind is that, just be yourself and do what you want to do, and don't let anything that some people would consider some type of obstacle get in your way, because you can always get around it. If you're creative and if you have a tenacious spirit, there's ways to work it all, and it's what we do. It's how we roll.
It seems like it's working so far.
It's living the dream. Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you so much for stopping by, Sacha.
Thanks for having me.
I was confused about the news. I thought I found myself a friend. I thought I found myself a real man. But you're not, you're a dog. You're not the cat's meow, yow, 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 yow. 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 And all your friends will clap, clap, clap their hands to your stupid little song by your stupid two-man band. And I don't care. I really don't care. Touch me, baby. I like the way you make me want to. Clap their hands to your stupid little song by your stupid two-man band. But I don't care. I really don't care. And all your friends will clap their hands to your stupid little song by your stupid two-man band. And I don't care. I really don't care. I really don't care.
That's Sacha Gabriel with the band My Tiny Circus and the song Stupid Two-Man Band. That's a request from Shay and Tate, both of her kids, as that's one of their favorite songs by their mom. My Tiny Circus will be playing at Jazz Fest in Ottawa on June 28th, so keep an ear out for them. And that ebook we talked about, Flora's Forest, is coming out at the end of the month. You can find out more information on that at cbc.ca/bandwidth.